Good evening. We're going to talk about grammar acquisition. We're going to specifically talk about grammar acquisition on an article written by Hossein Nassaji. This video is part of a new professional development program trying to provide just-in-time training and support to teachers of English language learners. The goal is to assist ESOL teachers in supporting academic achievement in English language acquisition. It would be impossible to describe language without seeking out this underlying framework. It is not possible to learn a second language without some grammar knowledge. What is grammar knowledge? What learners know about language rules and structures. Grammar acquisition facilitates the use of knowledge in a communicative context. Types of knowledge. Does learning occur through conscious manipulation or information, or through unconscious processes like learners are exposed to, while learners are exposed to instruction? There are two types of knowledge. The first one is the implicit knowledge, learning without awareness. Implicit knowledge involves other areas of the perceptual and motor cortex. It is knowledge that is procedural, cannot be verbalized. It is used in rapid communication. The second type of knowledge is the explicit knowledge, conscious learning acquired through explicit instruction. Explicit knowledge, it is knowledge that is conscious, learnable, and verbalizable, supported by the neural system, prefrontal context. How different learners acquire grammar. Differences between first and second language learners, and how adults and children learn. Relationship between implicit and explicit knowledge and its position. There are three different positions. The first one is the non-interface position. The non-interface position describes that there is no connection between explicit and implicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge cannot turn into implicit knowledge. The second position is the strong interface position. This position explains that explicit knowledge resulting from instruction can turn into implicit knowledge. And the third one, the weak interface position, describes how explicit knowledge facilitates the development of implicit knowledge through promoting other processes. Not all types of instruction are equally effective. It also needs to be clarified which kind of instruction is more effective. Different types of instruction. So the first one is the implicit instruction, and the second one is the explicit instruction. The implicit instruction, in this kind of instruction, students are presented with a problem and are asked to draw their conclusions. It encourages students to think for themselves. Explicit instruction, this instruction relies heavily on the teacher's input and guidance. Teachers clearly express what students are expected to do and learn. Studies show that explicit instruction can be overall more effective than implicit instruction. Research also shows that focus and focus on form can be a practical approach. Finally, input-based and output-based instruction. The first one, input-based instruction. Ellis defines input-based instruction as an instruction that involves the manipulation of the input that learners are exposed to or are required to process. Also, Ellis defines output-based instruction as a teaching approach that emphasizes the active production of language by learners. This concludes our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can rewatch it if there was anything that wasn't clear.